13th Amendment that was swept under the rug?
I am not. I've read all about it, but I'm not. I don't want to talk about the 13th Amendment because I'm not. I'm not confident enough that I know for sure what happened with the 13th Amendment.
What do you have planned in Iowa for April 19th?
You know, I'm living in Florida now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, but I do.
What do you got planned in Florida for April 19th?
And I just moved there, and I haven't been there but about 6 weeks since I moved there.
Well, Dan Gonzalez should be able to tell you that.
Anyway, the answer to your question is Iowa is very well organized. What we're trying to do in all these states is get everybody together. Libertarian Party, Constitutional Party, the gun groups in Iowa. I have been working on that with the gun groups and the Libertarian Party and the Republican Party. I was on the, believe it or not, I mean, I haven't been a Republican for a long time, but when Ron Paul ran, I got involved, and I was a district delegate, and then I got elected to, I was a county delegate, then I got elected to the district. So I go to the district, you'll love this story, I go to the district convention. It's like 500 people there. And most of these people didn't, you know, my campaign for, you get no coverage when you run for governor as a libertarian. So most of the people didn't know me. But I handed out a poster about, or a little flyer about me in my book, Restoring the Heart of America, and that I was a constitutionalist because I wanted to promote myself to be a national delegate to support Ron Paul at the National Convention. So I did have that out there. So they had that. But there were 16 people running for the platform committee. 16 people. And a lot of these people have been on the platform committee every 2 years or 4 years or whatever it is that they have it for, you know, decades. And they had fancy brochures and everything. So somebody said, Clyde, you got to run for the platform committee. So I said, okay, I'll run for it. So there were 16 of us that ran. They had each of us make a 2-minute speech. And these guys were dressed to the T's. They were well known in their communities. Only 4 got voted for. One was an 18-year-old who was really personable, and everybody loves the young Republicans because there's only 3 or 4 of us. So, and so anyway, he ran. He made a good speech. I got up there, and I had my little pocket Constitution that's all worn and ripped up and everything because I carry it around and look at it and read it. And I held it up, and I said, if you want somebody to go to Des Moines and represent you and make the platform of the Republican Party this document, because this is what the platform should be. We don't have to make a platform. All we have to do is follow this. And that's pretty much all I did. I got a lot of applause. I thought I'd do okay. And then all the other 14 guys talked. And the kid got more votes than I did. He got like 144. I got like 139. And then everybody else was way down from there. So I was, you know, I was one of the 4 people that got elected to be on the Des Moines, on the Republican State Platform Committee. And there was 4 of us Ron Paul people out of those 16. And we had some allies within the Christian Coalition. Christian Coalition runs the Republican Party in Iowa. So we worked with a lot of the guys in the Christian Coalition, and we got the most constitutional, most freedom-oriented platform passed in Iowa that they had ever had before. It was really quite remarkable. I took a bunch of people out to dinner that night, paid for everybody. I was so excited. Too bad you weren't there. But anyway, it was really something. But then, of course, you know what happened, right? I found out, first of all, by the way, that same thing had happened all over the country. Ron Paul people had infiltrated, got into these state platform committees, the Republican Party, all over the country. There was very constitutionally oriented platforms all over the country. Do you think any of those things, like getting rid of the income tax or getting rid of the Patriot Act or getting rid of the Federal Reserve, do you think any of those things got in the national platform?
Hell no.
Of course not. They got tossed in a garbage can by the national. It's run by neocons. It's the power elite runs that party. Of course, they run the Democratic Party too. So I'm lost my track now. But anyway, that's you know, just the way it is. But it's changing. Here in Arizona, I've met with some of the people in Phoenix last year when I was here. The work that's being done to take over the Republican Party in Arizona is incredible. So to answer your question, I think there's going to be a lot of directions to this. I think people are going to be working through the political parties. I think people are going to be working like we are in the Articles of Freedom in the Continental Congress. I think people are working in their gun groups and they're working in their tea parties and all these different things to all work together to change things.